Yeah.
First and foremost, and I give all praise and
glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, HaKadosh.
And then we also give double honors and respects to the elders and the apostles of Great Millstone that rule and teach well. You know what I mean? Shalom to the Akim that on all places on the earth right now, pushing this with the truth and in sincerity. You know? Risking their lives to do so more so now than ever. You know what I mean? And once again, we out here again to do what we always be doing. You know? Spread the word to the four corners of the earth. And that is one of the signs, you know, that hey, the end is near. Right? And there are many signs to show us that the end is near. Just the vibration of the people, the things they caught up in, the things they allow to distract them. You know? The distractions that the elites putting in place for the man on, it's becoming more and more what's the word? More and more severe, more and more intense. You know? So once you get caught up, it's harder to break from it. Everything become an addiction. Technology, screen time, everything you find yourself, it's easier to do that, you know what I mean? And they rather go to everything else but the scriptures. You know? Alright, go ahead. Yeah, go ahead.
Say Ephesians 6, I'll start from verse 10, right? They say, finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord. They say, and in the power of his might. They say, put on the whole armor of power, that ye may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil.
Yeah, the wiles, when they look at the word wiles, they go back to the word strategy. You understand? Yeah, it's trickery, strategy, more or less the same thing. Yeah, we understand film because the God shall preach just came to mind from the paraphrase, but you know, I didn't get it clear. But nevertheless, yeah, so you go stand firm against the strategy of the devil. Because they will come in every form that you could possibly imagine. You understand? And you might even see it, understand? You know, it might be a other brother might have to pull you up on it and say, hey, you're going off there, however the case may be. You know? So you always have to try to keep that armor on at all times.
I was saying another where scripture say in John, it say, you have no need that man teach you, but the Spirit teach you all things. People don't understand that is something that's not look at with discretion. Because the Spirit could reveal something to me to show to you also. Or it could reveal something to you to show to me. You don't always get it directly. And that's where humility that's coming. There are a lot of people that get caught up with this mindset that no man don't teach me nothing. What do you mean? They say anytime you want to be teaching, you have need that one teach you again. You understand? That is not something that you can escape. Right? So what are times, yes, the Lord will reveal something unto you. Sometimes my brother might get a dream. And he might come and tell you about it. You know, it's happening in different ways and not always a direct link, so to speak. You understand?
I'm going to say something. When you look at wiles, it's cunning arts, deceit, craft, trickery. So you say even from the phonic, it say metodia. So it doesn't really the name of the word and all that. It's say from a compound, it's say traveling over, that is travesty, trickery. It's a wile, it's a lie in wait. You know?
Hunter.
Yeah. That is you know, as it says, that say put on the whole armor of God that you may be able to stand against the wiles of the devil. You know, the trickery, the cunning arts, to stop basically the deceit that Esau would be coming with. You know, and they're using it just by what? The AI, you know, and the media and all these things, right? I'm bringing a piece of paper.
Say, for example, you see like how Esau represented, right? Usually in two forms, like a cunning hunter and also a serpent. And those two characteristics of both of them, a hunter and a serpent, there's lying in wait, patiently to strike the prey.
Yeah? You see the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 10. It says, arise ye and depart, for this is not your rest, because it is polluted, which shall destroy you, even with the sword of destruction. And that basically what I mentioned before. You know, that this really and truly, you know, is not we rest. Because of the things happening, you know, the evil being done. Right? And the things that the evil that won't come upon this place. Right? We've seen it on a daily basis. So really and truly, don't get
Sometimes there's a
comfortable,
facial
do
thing, a struck face or
just
something.
fall into the,
Alright, then.
the hands of
Nah,
Esau.
alright, then.
Because that's what
Alright,
they're doing, they're having this,
Spanish.
they're making Jake get so completely something, you know, having them believing that it's really and truly is the rest. You understand how them believing that they were going on to find solitude in this place.
Yeah, the mindset of convenience.
Yeah.
Because we could do it, then we enjoy it.
Yep.
More or less, so to speak.
Yep.
And when it comes to the condition and wilds, now one of the things that they just try to promote, being comfortable, being more or less stagnant here.
Okay, but yeah, now we have a scripture in mind here, and say we are not ignorant of Satan's devices.
Yeah.
I don't know
Right? So that's what before me thought this is something. And that's like what the brother said, that's why they have all this so complacent. Right? Have all of this. That's why the scripture say what? They say arise ye depart, for this is not your rest. Because it is polluted, it shall surely destroy you, even with a soul destruction. That is what will happen to all of that find rest, that find solitude in this place. You are going to be what? Destroyed. You know, because you'll continue on a daily basis to agree and accept on the wickedness that's being done in this place. You know, Jake has always make about certain excuses. Some years ago, you know, they used to speak out against the alphabetical people. Now you know they say, let them be. Love is love. You know they ever sit and they say love is love. So it goes to show you how complacent. They want to judge. Yeah, they want to judge. So it goes to show how complacent they get. You know? So give me the go to the Corinthians. You know? That is our life. That's basically that is one of the biggest lies.
It says,
You see, and that go back to what we say. There's an example, and we always say, the Lord has sent an example every single time of what it is we going into. The Spirit bear witness. Because there is a person who find rest here. You know, a person who deceived, you know.
You find rest here, you find rest in Ethiopia.
Nah, he find no rest there.
But I what the man believe in India, what the man say,
No, he believe in it.
He believe in Ethiopia.
But he believe in
it. He rests
yeah.
over in Ethiopia.
But it goes to show, like
This
I was saying,
kingdom in Ethiopia
it goes to show
was-
how easily deceived Jake is. Because even unto this day, he talking about that, keeping the and they themselves not even keeping the commandments. You understand? They break every single one. You know? Yeah, a matter of fact, you know, it gets so crazy right now when it comes to like the word of the Lord is that if you ask somebody what commandment is, they can't answer it. If you ask them a law, they can't answer it. You know, that's how complacent and how swayed off. You know, the Lord say, these people are what? They destroy for lack of knowledge. Right? That's to show you how destroy these people are. Then you go to ask them what commandment is, they don't even know. They say it, but they don't even know. You understand? Yeah, but follow the commandment thing. What's a commandment? What's a law? You know? The man precept. They don't. But tell them about AI. You see now I go back to where you start with, right? Chat GPT. He so have them so I was watching something about that. I remember that beautiful thing you bring up, like that spirit. I was reading something earlier in the week with Chat GPT, right? Like with the AI. Like people getting so dumb. Like they get literally getting, you know, Americans say dumb, they say fool, we just say dotish. You understand? They're getting so dotish. Because they turn so much to the AI, they turn so much to the phone, is that every single thing they do, or every single thing that they get answer for, they're asking it. You know? An example of that for people who has been on Twitter. Twitter users go see a video and they go just at Grok. Grok is Elon Musk AI. They will just say at Grok, what does it mean? And people will come and tell them, well, you're watching the video, we need AI to explain that to you for, but they get so, it goes to show how completely empty-minded they get, that they turn to that.
I'm going to say something, right? You know, in school, right, everybody had to do maths. You know why maths compulsory? Or you know why the teachers used to say, you will use this every day in your life? Even up to now, we use Pythagoras theorem or trigonometry since we were in school. You know what was the purpose of it? Maths is the only problem solving subject you have in the curriculum. How to solve problems, that's all maths is. That is the essence of maths, solving problems. And that is what they were teaching us when they say you want to use this every day. Like, you might literally use a triangle with this side is equal to this side, find y.
Not that
but,
formula, but
yeah,
the
but
concept.
you're going to need to be able to solve problems every day. And as the brother was saying, the AI commanders fill that void. So now you literally docile. Before you go spiritually and mentally, you know, but now you don't even have to think. You can just type it in and you'll get the answer and you go run with it because why? You're so lazy you wouldn't double check or as I say fact check it.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? So when he say yes, the slaves was African. Right, go with that. Say, boy, we never come from there, boy. He's African, or you know, or who is the rightful ruler, whatever. Yeah, so that's it. But right, these people, even though when the man come on the side, they say, why do you worship me? I'm not. Or you one of my people. He tell them that. And look today, the 25, which was years. I don't even think I was in the 2000s. I was in the early 90s or something. So, and in 2025, people still believe in this man to be the ruler, you know, the so-called Anna.
So I have to be saying to it's all about controlling it. So this is how this is even though it might seem small to people now, it's you can literally see the effectiveness of the AI, the effectiveness of how easy it is to go to chat. Like schools were saying they know when children use ChatGPT, but due to the fact that majority of them using it, it don't make no point. They can't do nothing fair. They just have to correct it and just leave it at this. But by the actions of the children, you can see the children get more foolish.
Yeah.
They're so dependent on the technology. That's why it ever they say if anything gonna happen now, right? If, like chaos, anything chaotic, any blackout thing, these people not going to survive because they depend on one thing. They don't know how to live a day without the internet,
which is what they want.
Which is no, and that's what it's what happened. That's why when the brother start, he went into how they love the things that they get here.
That's it, make it dependable.
Yeah, make it dependable onto them, and that is that go back again. Why is it trickery? So you know, you feel ESO give it AI just so you give it for a particular reason. You know,
nothing ESO is for you.
Nothing ESO give you is for or is their benefit. You know, like even if you want to look it up, right? AI, when you go to ask AI, they're actually removing certain things from, I believe it's from the Bible. Like when they're asking certain things from the Bible or man, I was in a research on that here. Listen, I have it here. Listen, let me see my friend back up. No, I don't say. The AI was removing like information of it.
Now you only Google like the same thing.
Yeah, like removing certain things about the Lord and then.
Like
that was long time.
Yeah.
I was researching something where you tell me and show me, and I didn't get the same results. I remember what the result was. I remember right now. I can't remember what he did show me. You know, he's a fact checker, and he pulled it up and we went through it. And when I tried to go through it for myself, not recently, but a little while back, was not coming up to the same. You know what I mean?
No, but no, they're completely removing it.
The word Creon. Your queen goes back to the word Creon, which means whore. Right. And when you look at the synonyms of whore, a model was one of them. A model is a woman who shows herself again.
Expose yourself,
right? Usually before, when I used to check, I used to see it in the synonyms. Now, you don't see it again. So last time I found out, I just screenshot it and keep it to show somebody that a model is a type of whore. You understand?
Oh, that particular information.
Yeah, but you don't see it anymore.
Yeah, but that wasn't that the purpose of the Miss Universe was to make them get the top balls. Remember that was like because when you win Miss Universe, right? They basically gonna pass around to the leagues. That is the reason why it's top of the top now.
Whoever they deem as the best, how you for a little while and then you go lay back and you get a little endorsements and live nice.
But yeah. Like I think that woman come on recently do a video and they're like saying like what the purpose of the Miss Universe or what they just be doing after Miss Universe, and it's basically they just like I escort. Let me say a well-known escort.
It's just like in slavery time, what they used to do. They used to strip you down, women, and you're walking around, and whoever it is they find was the best one, they'll take you. They never purchase you.
What is
The Corinthians, right? 2 Corinthians chapter 2 verse 11, he said, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices.
Yeah, we're not ignorant of his devices. All the brothers saying to you, the phone here, my people thought, stand against them devices.
That's right.
You understand? Stand against the trickery. You understand? You're going to know, well, alright, this don't mean that word, even though they're using it like that. I won't go too deep into it, but for instance, the word hell. You understand? We know what hell is or what the word hell actually means. You understand? So when you ask we know what we fear, it would never be going to hell.
And
You understand? You would never hear we teach that.
And even the simple definitions, which most people don't even look.
No, they don't bother to look because why? But I grew up using that word as this, so we go leave it. In my head, this is what the word means, so that's why I'm using it. You understand?
I know funny, I remember your brother make that statement that time. Right? He say, Lord is a merciful God, but he ready to burn for eternity. you know what kind of punishment that is? To literally burn for eternity. Like, after you leave here, you're gonna burn until no end. You know how painful that is? And that's a merciful God. But anyway, you think about it, and really, nothing about it doesn't add up.
Or like you're burning for eternity, so then you're still there, you have to receive judgment. So when you're going to receive judgment, you're burning for eternity. You see the whole doctrine of, you know? Yeah, that's something.
No, but I do think that will be the judgment going to hell.
No, there's talk about after, there's talk about you're going in hell to wait, and then you're going to receive. But then the doctrine
like
teaches
like purgatory,
yeah,
so the Roman Catholics does teach purgatory, where you wait for judgment.
In hell.
I don't know the whole.
Yeah, the whole thing.
Why burning?
That one,
in fire?
purgatory is just waiting, like in limbo. You
Yeah,
just
in limbo.
stay for however long, like how like down here when they get locked up for something, they get high in jail for however long. It's
Like them under Dante.
yeah, Dante's in the 7 rings of hell and all that shit.
That is the false.
But that Dante Inferno wasn't even a religious thing. That was a picture by one of them painters. I don't think it's Da Vinci, but it's somebody else.
Michelangelo, I believe.
Yeah, and first they're so corrupted. They take that picture because I all it was, you know. The man just make a picture and name it Dante's Inferno, you know. And some white boy see it and say, you know what? This is what hell look like. Somebody call the Pope, get him on the line. Tell him we're teaching this tomorrow for Sunday school. And that's how we have it. No, honestly, that is what went on. The man paint a picture and said, this is done. Who the fuck is Dante? Nobody know. Up to now, nobody can answer that question. They Dante Inferno.
And around them kind of times was the Renaissance.
Renaissance can. The height of the...
To be able
to put it in place and how the people follow it.
perfect time.
And that is exactly what happened. Yeah, so, okay, I remember these artists would have been men of high renown, so they would have been among the courts of the Pope and these people and high falutin.
Yeah.
You understand?
Them only good to be in the literature, right?
They are what they are. You
They
understand?
all good to be in the literature.
Yeah,
Gustave Doré,
Gustave
a
Doré.
French artist from the 19th century.
Right.
Right? Its engravings are widely recognized for their dramatic and detailed depiction of scenes from Dante's
Inferno.
Inferno.
Yeah, I'm telling you, I know it's a picture. That is where the whole concept come from. A picture. Same thing with a white Messiah. Where it come from? A man painting a picture of his lover. That is it. You understand? And a father stricken with grief.
You know, something you see you mentioned something earlier, and I keep it in mind. You talk about how dependent. You mentioned something, but it goes to show that Jake become dependent on the AI. So the stray away from him. From the Lord.
God.
Our help coming from who?
The Lord.
The Lord. So
It's like, yeah, but they're so dependent on Esau.
Esau,
Not
yeah,
just
can.
him.
Yeah,
Esau.
that way, yeah,
You understand?
you can remember
Esau
Esau.
make it good.
Yeah, Esau now made the AI like a God.
Correct.
You know, so the Michael one that called the body AI and all
Yes,
that.
yes. It got this one they're trying to find the God
Particle and so
all
forth,
these
yeah.
things there. But the scriptures tell me that they say they would the word is not surpass, but something the stars of heaven, and I will make my throne in the clouds, and I will be like the Most High.
No, it'll be like Mosiah. Alright,
Yeah,
you can.
how they
Sorry,
say?
not Obadiah.
Thessalonians.
Thessalonians.
No, right, not Thessalonians. That is Old Testament.
Old
that.
Testament.
Either that or Isaiah. They say,
That is Isaiah. Send above this. Yeah, that is it. That is the scripture. And then you say, but the Lord goes step more or less. The precept goes into the Lord stepping in and bringing him down to the pit. You understand? Trade him. He go get judgment. He won't reach that high. You know?
Jake, type in be like the Most High. See it.
Yeah, is there?
Yes.
Look at our next one. Now one similar thing in the New Testament. So we had that Timothy
I don't want you to talk about it.
or Thessalonians, one of them.
But yeah, so when your brother saying is that basically they wouldn't turn to the Lord for help. So they get complacent in the spaces and they turn to who would they turn to them? The God of this world?
God.
Which is who Esau?
Who is the Most High that
Have
we
it,
should serve?
have it,
Which one again? Isaiah?
Isaiah 14,
14 years.
15.
Yeah.
But
Bring him.
read it. Yeah.
He said, for thou hast said in thy heart,
Yeah,
I will ascend
ascend
into
God.
heaven, I will exalt my throne above the stars of God. I will sit also upon the mount of the that's not.
That's it.
Oh yeah.
That's it.
I will sit also upon the mount of the congregation in the sides of the north.
Yeah.
I will ascend above the heights of the clouds.
The same which part?
The size of the north.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
He said, I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High.
Yeah. But
40.
Yet thou shalt be brought down to hell,
yeah.
to the sides of the pit.
You understand? But that is the mindset. And as the brother was making the analogy, they turn from God and turn to Esau. Because why? Esau make himself like a God to them. Whatever you want, because I mean, at the end of the day, we are not the cursors, and the cursors did say what? We will turn to the enemies for we want of everything. Everything. Nakedness, hunger, thirst, whatever. But for everything. And he just put himself in that position. Eyes only God, now all your clothes, we making that. Food, we creating that.
Well, there were answers to questions.
We have answers. No one, and that is why, and they realize, well, right, it's easier to get it from here than to fast for 3 days and then get it, you understand? Or to put ashes on my head. It's easier to do that and to put on a sheet and come on the side of the road and talk about the Bible. You understand? It's easier. It's the convenience mindset. All these things are easier. You understand? It's easier to be a part of than to be without. It's easier to be with them than to be holy. In other words. It's easier.
So faster.
Well, yeah. You know what I mean? It's easier all around. You're getting it
Ready-made,
instantaneously.
yeah.
You want promotion? Go in this room, pull out your pants and men over. Don't ask no questions. You understand? It's
Because
easier.
everybody else. You can be the Lord in this.
You understand? Why we will wait the entire lives because why? We promotion, we don't want a promotion in this kingdom. A promotion in this kingdom will still amount to nothing. You understand? We promotion is for that we aspire to receive. It's for the kingdom to come. The one that will last forever. You understand? The one that actually holds a merited.
My promotion and crown.
God.
I bring that scripture. I just two scriptures here, but that's the first one I bring is to go for that. In 2 Thessalonians chapter 2, verse 3. It says, let no man deceive you by any means.
Good.
For that day shall not come except they come and fall on our way first and a fall on our way happen, right? It says, and that man of sin be revealed, the son of perdition, who opposeth and exalted himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he, as God, sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God.
Right. You understand? He showed the people, oh, he set the system in such a way that you have to come to me faith. Your head hurted, we have something for that. Your knee hurted, we have something for that.
How the actions, like when they mentioned that, how they cure diseases, you know, it's basically like, you know, you will tell the Lord, pray to the Lord, but how they make it look is like they can cure anything. So you see, it's just like how they do, as you mentioned, the God particle, or how they create, now they can do seeding, which they can create different weather patterns, right? And cloud seeding, right? Cloud seeding. If anybody don't know, if you want to look it up, many countries are doing that right now.
Weather manipulation.
Weather manipulation, right?
Not all that people still dancing.
Yeah. You know, the 5G and all this other stuff, because I think it's the Lord. That go back to what the Lord said. He kill and he what? He make alive. Even though they have some sort, you know, they were given blessings. You know, the sword, the fatness of the land and so forth, right? They obviously they had to show their power, they had to show their blessing, and that is what they do. But with the pharmacy, it goes to show like how carnally, right? That how Esau is, like on that carnal level, they really act like a God on that carnal level.
Yeah.
What they have to heal here, pharmacy, Lord heals. What they have to for weather manipulation. What they have for like for war, they're the armies. You know what they have to go up to fly, that is the space station, all this other stuff. You know, they're the AI token here, they're the robots there, you know. So that is like creating the robot is like creating life, you know. Yeah. So it goes to show the kind of mindset Esau.
And as I say, creating life, they are cloning and all these.
Yeah. Cloning, yeah.
The things on the left-hand side, so to speak.
Yeah, like the left-hand.
That's like the,
Yeah. Imitation.
I made in China.
Well, as they say, imitation is the best factory.
Yeah. But that imitation to the Lord is mockery.
Well done.
Imitation is the most sincere form of flattery.
Yeah.
Something
like that.
But that particular imitation they're doing is basically mockery.
It's basically abomination because they're breaking the laws that he set. for the land to remain holy, they're breaking it. Because you're not supposed to mix genes and all these things, and that is what they do.
Yeah.
You understand? And they're so wicked about it. They so want to make sure you have to have it. Anything else that actually good for you, they will destroy it. You understand? Look at the situation it was last year, year before, when millions of livestock was being set on fire and all kind of thing. You understand? And look what they coming and implement now. They passed the law that saying lab-grown meats can be sold in groceries.
Yeah.
You understand? That not
Heavy attack.
exactly that. This is not organic in no form.
That's why no farmers on that heavy attack.
Yeah.
You understand? This was not meant to be consumed by no standard.
No, you get animals, right?
Kind of architect, you take it with some kind of one, you're not even supposed to feed your dog that kind of. You understand?
You see the video with the woman?
Yes, the video you put.
No, I know that video, but you see one trend that with the girl when in the grocery, she went to buy saltfish,
Right.
and the saltfish now it's better like rubber. You see it? I see last night, and she's every time she take on the saltfish, she's slapping the saltfish back because it's fake.
Yeah.
You know, but it goes to show how dependent. It's a reason why governments around the world they're killing off like local industry.
Good.
Because local industry you get natural stuff. The product will be more natural. So that is what they tell you. Even if you say the apostles and they'll tell brothers to go and buy
From local.
Yeah, buy from a grocery than go into a supermarket or these places, you know.
From the local
Now,
groceries.
obviously you got different terms. Like when we say grocery, like when we say market, right? When we say local market, it means like that is local grown.
Yeah.
You know, you're not going to get things that imported out from outside. and so forth.
Homegrown, no?
Yeah, homegrown. So it could be less chemical, it could be less fake, you know. Fish could be more. Fish, obviously, real fish, but it's fishermen. Right? But when you go to the supermarket now,
You have a variety.
you have variety.
And
Yeah,
then now-
products that they never even hear about. You know?
And here the messed up part about it. Everything that they have grown or interfered with, way cheaper than for healthy for you.
Yes.
You understand? Alright, so in America, right? And this information did not come from recent years, right? This was about 7 to 8 years ago, right? So I don't know what the prices look like now, but the video I watched a while back, it was the man talking to you on that was when I was in hotel school, so this will be talking around 2015, so about 10 years ago. 10 to 12 years ago, somebody. The video showing you how they are affecting meat and whatever. So in the video, the man saying, how is it, right, that I could get a burger, fries, and a drink for $1, but a head of broccoli is $7. Now, as a man with, the man say, let me say, the regular modern size family, a husband, a wife, 2 children, right? This was before it was alphabet folk. So I hope nobody get offended by the setup of the family. Because, you know, because that's what it is now, you know. This was long before the alphabets come out, right? This was when it still had a little bit of dignity. Anyhow, the man say, right, so a man, a woman and 2 children. What you gonna do? You understand? You could get a whole meal for $1 or a head of broccoli for $7.
Like I said, them kind of thing is by design. Just like we have gentrification.
Good.
When it is we used to push the people, make certain areas high to live, to push them into certain jurisdictions.
Good.
It's the same thing that doing with food. They make things that actually healthy, they make you, because the health doesn't just affect your body, it affect your mind.
Good.
Like people who always eat junk, you see right through the can't concentrate, they have all kind of different illnesses. Health is something that affects you as well. And you don't want the people to be healthy and, you know, don't want them to be docile.
So you want them to be cognitive.
Can. So what helps with that is the food. So they pump research and study and money into that to be able to destroy them from the inside out. So to speak. Not just by the philosophies, but also internally.
Physically.
Yeah. From both sides and destroying it from all directions.
Canada done as we was going into. He make himself a god by making this the easiest thing accessible to the masses. You understand? Because the white majority go always, after you work all day and your wife work all day, then you have to sit down in traffic, go and pick up the train, come back home. Who go on? By the time you reach home, you don't want to cook nothing. You understand? You go and do so now and say, oh, wait on. So you pass by McDonald's or wherever, buy $1 meal for everybody, $4. If you go in the grocery, you go end up spending about $60. That will always be the easier option out. You know, and that's how we set it up, and that's why the cursing, we have to two enemies in one of all things.
So you eat the file bread.
Can.
That could also be fulfilled.
Can. You know, so right now you can't, right now there's no telling what is and what isn't. You know? The most you could trust is, you know what I mean, trust in the Lord and say a prayer. But other than that, we can't tell what is and what isn't tainted right now.
I see it's so tainted. I see a video time I'm making a joke.
Oh, they fail, man. They fail. All the fight today.
You see, if you need back, you're supposed to be out there and drink, so you go.
So you go to, oh yes, I see that on Instagram. A man got arrested, right, for playing Viagra in women drinks at bars. Yeah. What? He just had to know something, so that's what he tell them when he get a couple of here. It's crazy out here, I just had to know.
Yeah,
You know, if it's a man, I take Viagra, you know what I mean? But if it's a woman, nothing like what happen, so he go put it in the drink and, you know, carry on the conversation and wait, and once he has seen nothing right, you know he's safe.
But then again, that only more people is then with the full work. So they do the full work. So.
But it just goes to show how
the level like extreme, how extreme it is over there. Yeah, man, just had to know, yeah, it's crazy right now, I need to know. Go back.
You see, book of second Corinthians chapter 10, verse. You must start from verse. You start from verse 3. Nah. It say for though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh. It say for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God to the pulling down of strongholds. And how we pull down strongholds is through His word. You understand? And then it goes to show that our war is not carnal, right? It say for the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but mighty through God. And that's just going back to like we say, this is really how we rest. You know, who we think is going to come and fight this war for us is the Lord. That's who we wait on. You know, to come back. We ain't looking for nothing here because we know there's nothing here to help us. Everything here is against us. You know, I did a video recently, I believe it was Friday, right? With a woman, a hardcore harlot, right? You know, before she did this video, she was literally caught. The reason why she was, the reason how she became a sportscaster is because she was sleeping around with the executives, you know, a co-host. All of a sudden, she come on a podcast and say she would not push herself with that man on board. You know? She would not push herself in the man, but this is the kind of things that you are wrongly living in. That's the mindset of people, you know. So the dependency it goes to show how far in Jake's mind the Lord is. And that, when they mention the Lord to Jake, it's like a abominable thing to them.
I know I'm saying they will take offense to it because remember this, especially if we do it, we're not doing it in the way that they perceive it to be from a young age. We're not coming well. You know the Lord love you. I know we're telling the raw truth of it. The truth of the matter is, oh my God, I'm going to change your ways or die. Who would like to hear they want to die or going to die? And this is the truth of the matter. You understand? People could say we lie, people could say we put our day. No, we didn't. You understand? I don't think it's have a book in the Bible that don't talk about judgment. You understand? Judgment is throughout the entire old, new, apocrypha. You understand? Your will.
Even your shall tell them what going to happen to them.
Come.
You understand? What going to take place and what did take place.
And judgment cannot be brought about wrong with it.
Huh?
Judgment can be brought about wrong with it.
Yeah.
You have to do something wrong to receive judgment.
Yeah, and all the remember the prophets were sent over to give warning.
Yeah, before the judgment.
So what warning is? It's warning before something
Before something bad. There's only got warning before something bad, never before something good.
And you only get warning for doing something bad.
Exactly.
That's
That's what I mean to say. Yeah.
Because like this, why you feel the things happening the way it's happening right now? It's because of all the wickedness. That's why you should not sin. I inside joke, right? But he should not sin. But the reason why the things happen is because they continue to do wickedness in the sight of the Lord.
Gone.
You know, as we mentioned before, as brother used to mention, it's like when they mention Lord to these people, it's like an offense. They take
offense. They would take offense. What's that, right? You see, we trying to enjoy ourselves and have a nice time. You know, you can have a nice time in this place. Like they're so docile.
Tell the Most High to cease from you.
Understand? They tell the sea and see not. Yeah.
And
the prophets prophesy not. You understand? Because why? Because they're so docile in this place. They find enjoyment in the. Basically, what I'm looking for,
They
right?
find enjoyment in captivity.
Can't.
That is what they find enjoyment in.
Yeah.
In temporary pleasures.
Temporary pleasures, that's a good way to put it as well, because that is what the mindset is. It's what temporary pleasures. Things are not going to last.
Can't.
You know?
It's like this place come like a drug, then, right? Because you see me a drug. The first time you use it, that will be as they say that you're strong, this high now, and you just spend your rest of your life trying to reach back that high. So you know what I mean? You never went to a party. You go to a party once you had a ball, you drink, you wine, you dine,
You will go back.
you're missing the next party. Can't wait. And that is what it is.
And you try to do more the second time, okay, you want to feel like a
Cause, and then before you know it, those are repentance clothes, your shy paisley clothes, and you pack through. You understand?
Fine, you're doing something you're not supposed
Fine,
to
you're
do.
with your pants down in the back in the backstage. You understand, for autograph. No, it's a serious thing, man. Because watch, man.
Big bosses.
When you think these women being worse, you understand? By the kind of things, by that's some men out there real lost in the sauce. Way too far in the job. Way too far. You understand? And you have to understand that, hey, all that they will do is for what? Is to acquire more convenience in this place or more leisure in this place. You understand? Because boy, you lie down, you know. I working with a fella. The man said, to be honest with you, dog, if I had to take something from somebody, it had to be the day. You understand? It could be him. I could be in pain after, you know, but I could be rich. And yeah, by going on the stand and I let them know what's going on, the man said, he paid me. So everybody who say he do them thing, they get money, check their account. You understand? I said, no, you hear what you say, man? And dog, I tell you, I said something wrong with you, man.
No integrity.
No, I said, for what? For money, right? Money that not even money that just represents debt that you're owing. Money representing that you have no money. Look at that. That is what you giving up your back door for.
You sure yeah. You sure he tambourine and
No, I don't know.
the skin and off the tambourine, eh?
Huh?
I say the skin must be done off the tambourine.
No, well, I tell him he's a hen, but you know, he just laugh it off. But he and I serious. I say, no, he's a hen, and you can't hide it, dog. If he's a hen, be a hen. No, you know? Just no don't come from me under that vibes. I let him know that if I say, okay, he's a hen, and don't feel, you know. Yeah, no rooster. We show about that. You got what? You got what?
Yeah.
Nah, let me bring out down, then bring out 1 John 2 and 18 from that. And then you bring out 2 John 1 and 7. Oh, you didn't finish with that? What action? Well, go ahead. Finish the Ephesians and then you go to
Say the Ephesians 5, verse 12. It says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of darkness of this world, say against spiritual wickedness in high
right
places.
places. Yeah, so you don't see, well, at least the men at GMS going and buy arms and train and no, because why? I used to bless them. You understand? The same way you saw can't fight with the truth. We can't fight with the sword because the truth is we don't know, but the sword is the one. You understand? Can't. You understand? But what we just fight against principalities, you know what they stand for, what they promote. You understand? That is what we just work at.
Just to add something we're saying here,
Go ahead.
with our brothers, with our men that would have them,
Can't.
because the scripture. Men and the Lord never used to live with a sword.
Can't.
Used to have a sword on them that was like a sword back then was like a gun. But as the brother say, you wouldn't see them in no train field, or you wouldn't see like ISPK with the white man, ISUPK, right? That they're doing push-ups.
Yeah, like they created a what is it called? Yeah, a regiment. You know?
It's not that kind of army.
No, we're not fighting for rulership at this place.
Men doing push-ups and jumping jacks in the field and all that shit. No.
Yeah.
That is
Not
the
like
scene
that.
of men.
And Esau just comes to and throw a bottle there, and all of a sudden it has
Everybody just start to melt.
Yeah, a virus.
And then melt it.
You can't even nobody never hear
Yeah,
about.
understand? If Esau say all toilet paper is to be painted blue by tomorrow, all toilet paper in the world will be blue. Right? This is he kingdom.
And they had them buying toilet paper and they dash at them.
No, not that. They them buying toilet paper, you know, but the virus attacking your lungs.
Yeah.
How toilet paper going to affect your lungs? I go wait.
There's
All time.
the kind of control that goes to show. That goes to show the kind of control.
Yeah, wet
We so have now.
Right, toilet paper sell out in price what they're putting up signs 1 per customer, you know. Imagine that.
All because them see a video with Esau running in Walmart and them and rush taking a toilet paper, so they have to do too. You know?
Like I don't have no other way to clean
Yeah.
yourself. I show how poor condition.
The concept of toilet paper and all this is off. Because if you have dirty dishes, what are you screaming with? Water. Your clothes dirty, what are you screaming with? Your body dirty, what are you screaming with? Water. When you use the toilet, you wipe them. The concept and all shaky.
So I was going to say, as how you say, as how the truth is so we and the sword is so now, boy. And the scripture say, you know, that the word is like a two-edged sword that cut to the marrow.
God.
You understand? So that goes to show how strong the word is, and no matter what it is, whatever sword that Esau developed, it could never, how to say, defeat the word now. Boy.
Well, can't I remember?
The most powerful thing is truth. It's there's just one. Four. They say the most powerful thing is what? Truth.
So it's evident to see who will come out on top.
Victorious God. It's like I have to remember. This is the word is not something, the symbolism of the sword is not something physical. You understand? It's not something physical.
Yeah.
He's so in charge of carnality. He's the head of that. He could keep that.
Yeah.
He in charge of the physical. You go with that.
You can destroy the body. Yeah.
That is it. After that, well, move on. You understand? We have no unction to fear him. You understand? We have unction to say who could destroy the body and still cast the soul into hell after. That is who we fear.
So use the term the sword to tell you the truth. And that is show how dangerous this world is too, because it can not only affect your enemies, it will also affect yourself.
Yeah.
So you have to be mindful of how it is nice, because they say first be the man that do the work and God deceitfully.
God.
This word and all. You know, like I know, like a samurai. A samurai sword is not double-sided. So when he slash, even if it flash him back here, he's still good.
Yeah.
Unless it's back to side. But for a man who had a normal sword, if you swing it correctly, you get damage yourself. And that is show how dangerous this word is. So I show you had no way to do it. And you have to safe way, because if not, you are not going to
get caught.
You understand? So they say it's say for the one that know it not. So the one that know it and do it not. This shall receive but many strikes.
Wait a minute. Look the book of Genesis 27. I'll read from
A little Maya, man.
No. What's that? Look at me?
No, it's a little Maya, man.
Oh, yeah. It says, and Isaac, his father, answered and said unto him, Behold, thy dwelling shall be the fatness of the earth and of the dew of heaven from above. Right? So, this is Isaac telling Esau about the blessing. Now, here's the next part. It says, and by the sword shalt thou live, and shalt serve thy brother, and it shall come to pass when thou shalt have the dominion, that thou shalt break his yoke from off thy neck. Right? And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. Esau said in his heart, the days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then will I slay my brother Jacob. Now this is going to be 40, and by the sword shalt thou live. So that was even part of the blessing is the sword.
Yeah.
You understand? And when you watch here in Revelation, you know, and when you watch who it is, who Esau is, you see it like people talking about Japheth, and no, this we expect no truth from Booker Malone and what's the next one? Baron something is the name, you know, or many other people that want all of a sudden Japheth in their mind, you know, they're trying to find doctrines to prove that the white man is not Esau. You understand? Because
what Japheth really right?
Esau
is the end of the world. What Japheth really?
They don't even understand the history that happened till we even know that Japheth used to dwell, right? And who it is who dwelling there today? That's who? Russia, right? The original Japhites, they're not in there. You know? Right, so when they read, so like even when these people read at Ezekiel 38 and so forth, they don't understand that God and Megog, who it is they're talking about? Talking about Russia. But that was given unto us. But it goes to show that there's one that disprove the white man being Esau. Didn't some years ago they say Esau done away with? That the prophecy over there done away with? So how are you coming here to say that, oh no, you're trying to change the fact that Esau is not, that the white man is not Esau? Well, if you teach that the Edomites were done away with, then you shouldn't be worrying about who Esau is.
Esau is, remember he done away with it?
Yeah, it shouldn't be a topic for you, but it goes to show that what they want to do is that they don't want a judgment come onto Esau.
At all. So they want to cover all bases. We's not Esau and Esau done away with it, you know?
Yeah, that's it. No, that's how they say Japhet, you know? But at the end of the day, it's supposed to talk about the patience of the sin. Let them lead in captivity, shall what? Go into captivity, and then by killing the sword must be God. Yeah, there is a peace. That is what the
Numbers 33.
You understand? And if I can say that is technicality behind it,
Yeah, I know.
even though I might try to make it appear visually.
The tree is when the blood defiled the land, and it will not be cleansed unless for the blood that defiled it. And they have real blood to clean. So them are real blood to clean. So we don't know them portion.
Them still shedding blood on.
Can't.
Might be literally, but they still know.
They cause it, they are the charge of it.
I go back to like we was reading coming up in the car, and let's get it quick.
That Esau, the border wickedness. So he going down by himself. All the blood he could shed, everybody he could take with him.
You good?
He goes.
See, in Revelation 17 verse 6, it says, and I saw the woman drunk one blood with the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs of Yahushua. And when I saw her, I wondered with a great admiration. So they're talking about the woman which is so America. You understand? Yeah. They say I'm drunk with the blood of the saints, and what they do, they kill us on the side. You know, on this side of the hemisphere, they kill us. You know, the saints of the Lord, what should we do on the guy, what should we do on Satan, even on this day. And even add on to what they're going to do in time to come. You know, they're preparing the robot dogs, the humanoid robots, and many other things that all they can't even comprehend.
Compartmentalization, you know? Come straight up and let's do
the heart attack guns. The heart attack gun, all you see that? The mosquito to blow up your head.
the mosquito.
Yeah, I know that one.
It goes to show that the reason I'm saying it goes to show the blessing. What I was talking about the sword, it goes to show the blessing that they have. Everything that they're talking about is the kill. You know, there's nothing about no peace coming out of this man.
You never speak life, you never speak against it.
Even Cain, after Cain, his children, what they was doing, right? They was going and hunt down Jake. I quoted it, I said it wrong, but nonetheless, I ain't going for that. But that was what they was doing.
Come the other side.
Yeah. So that what they was doing. That what the Canaanites was doing. You understand? And it goes to show that okay, there's in them to hurt. They said what they do, they take peace from the earth. You understand? Wherever Esau is, there's always seem like
Always a death to fall.
Death or like deterioration.
Like,
you know, it's the place.
There's really place worse than the meeting.
Yeah.
They don't add no benefit.
Huh?
Imagine a man cursed from the jump.
Yeah.
From
the jump.
Since the jump.
Since he was in the garden.
And every time he come back, same process.
And every time you come back, there's always some trouble you doing. You know? If I put there a meme, somebody go up, the world without the white man, and you see birds running, you see technology moving, you see everything moving, and these are the guys that up because they know it's true. You know? They know it's true. But it goes to show that when you watch the characteristics of the Lord telling about the wicked, or telling about Esau, or telling about them that heard the earth, there's only one particular people doing that. Who is going to dig the seas for oil? Who is cut down the trees to build things?
When you know how to make
And then quarrel about climate change.
And then quarrel about climate change.
Then talk about climate change so bad.
And then bring things to climate lockdowns and all these things that they want to bring, you know?
You know, I should have seen the other day. When I was at work, I see him taking off the lights. So it's like, it's got the lights for. It's like what in some world will help me or energy day or some shit like that.
I know you're talking about.
I say all they pumping oil in the seats and but all they want to take out the lights for a while.
Doing something good.
But that's what it is good.
That's before you continue.
We don't own the rights to
the music playing in the background. So, fair use. Fair use. Understand? What?
The dynamic vibration move on that they destroy on one hand. Like they was getting sick. but then give you this kind of aid and make you feel like them is the helpers when them is the cause.
Like we had the biggest example was what? 2020? Yeah, understand? They release it on all, yeah. They bring up
Vision
2020.
They're talking about all
Then they bring a so-called cure, and then after the cure,
doing worse than what they try to cure. Is that a conundrum?
that's what we saying. It doesn't matter what they do, it will always have death.
The end is death.
We
The
say
end result is death.
Surah 14. It's
If you do it good, you do it unwillingly, but in the end, it will manifest wickedness.
Yeah, you know? Go ahead. Yeah,
What is it?
again, fair use for any music that's going to be played. You know, it's what is that? Mother's Day? It's Mother's Day, so you know, Trinidadians are they
We party for everything.
yeah, the there must be ones who was just going to tell you, hey,
They can't go
they got God for me, they got God to worship now.
on the spot.
Lord is working.
Yeah. But
So verse 13, right? Ephesians 6 verse 13, they say, wherefore take upon you the whole armor of power, that you may be able to withstand in the evil day, and say, and having done all to stand. They say, wherefore take upon you the whole armor of power, that ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. They say, and having done all to stand.
yeah, so withstand an evil day, every time we coming into, you know, that they are doomed. You understand the triple that they have to do, yeah. Oh, now what am I, man? The time that we had an entry, gonna be real bad. You know? Last time I was reading something, the ban are the Bible. Like they're talking about they want to ban pictures totally now, like street pictures, because why they
Yeah, a long time. Someone's well know that.
but you see more consistent videos all the time. And I was watching one last night where the man was literally saying it's because now they bring all the reasons why they want to do it. Like if somebody passes in that picture, I might say something and it will offend them, man. So you know.
Or the shouting love or provoking me.
Provoking, yeah.
That's going on. That same thing you're talking about. Months ago,
And now we're talking about the laying of the hands. You know, they're not praying for Christianity, but we know really and truly who they're praying for. You know, for them, Christianity is actually underneath them, so they wouldn't pray for somebody that
but
actually.
the other guys did too.
Yeah.
You can't come and say, man, we
Yeah,
preach
preaching or the prophets are doomed. You know, like, don't call me. But they talk about laying at the hands of people on the night when you pray.
You pray that you're not allowed to pray for somebody in public and them saying, you can't do it.
Which is something that the scripture says about doesn't do like that. You know?
Don't pray for them.
But the pray in public, you're supposed to
Don't pray for them.
fast knowingly, and you're not supposed to give charity.
Outwardly. You know?
You see how men.
Yeah. So where that?
Say verse 14, it says, standing therefore, having your loins girt about with truth, and having on the breastplate of righteousness. You see,
That's with our righteousness, and that is really where it's supposed to be when the armor you're talking about is not, if you really, the comparisons, even as the brother said in the early, is that we are the knowing who are spiritual, and that we read it here. It's mentioning the breastplate, the helmet, you know, the shield, all these things is the power or the armor, but it go back to what? Things that they're not going to see carnally, it's spiritually, you know? So men want to go on, as I mentioned before, men want to go on train and things. That is not the armor we're supposed to be putting on. Nonetheless, you would have to learn as a man to defend yourself. But really and truly, our defense coming from who? The Lord. You know?
The name of the Lord is a strong God.
Men upon Esau, Aman.
The righteous run into the other safe. But the majority of these camps don't even use the name of the Lord.
Yeah, so who would they run into?
They need to be doing push-ups and jumping jacks for the rifle. They need that.
They want to run to Esau.
They need that.
That beautiful thing I don't say there, because it goes to show that they had to run to Esau for help. But them that call upon the name know that we had to call upon the Lord. So we don't want to act like that. But I got beautiful thing that imagine what the Bible say. Proverbs say what? The name of the Lord is like a strong tower, the righteous run to it. So obviously that is a strong tower is what defense. So you will turn to that, you will turn to the name of the Lord for that. But them that not call upon the name, you always see them doing something carnal. You know, you always see them in the training camps here, we see them army doing
They're
the
on the firing range,
they
practicing.
Kenya organizing something or some bullshit on. Because why? The defense is not up on their defense.
It's not on the name.
Yeah?
You understand? They don't use that name, so they can't get it. It cannot be as strong for them. You understand?
You don't have Irish, you know, say, waiting upon me, then I want to be the fighters. So then Sakari mindset. Long time Sakari wanted to go
The hitman
and one time when that Sakari up, they started and what they do after? They run. You know?
start to kill each other all the time.
What the man say? You say, if it be of men, it shall surely come to know.
But the word Sakari just means assassin.
Yeah.
And you get the Sakari from.
Say verse 15 is say, and your feet shod with the preparation of the gospel of peace. You see, above all, take the shield of faith, wherewith ye shall be able to quench all the fiery darts of the wicked, and take the helmet of salvation and the sword of the Spirit, which is the word of power. Right, so all the preparation talking about is about building yourself in this way. Shoes and feet. Not about a little battle. As you understand, what is saying about not a literal sword.
We can win a carnal battle in this kingdom.
Hey,
Understand? How you going to win against the person who feeding you, clothing you, allowing you to live basically? How you going to win that one? You understand?
even the water.
This man
Assassin
president.
Yeah, so what we go? And they're assassinating the president, so it's like it had no trace.
Yeah. Imagine you grow and live your whole life. You never leave your country. You in your country your entire life. But if he come here, they will shut down the city for you. You understand? All of a sudden there will be no murders in Port of Spain.
Like they're the big plane and thing down in Chagaramas.
In the
They're
museum.
doing military training right now. On that side.
Yes, yeah, I am
on that side recently.
I am wood on the avenue. I just get some by the one of my cook and she's like, sure, where is her? African helicopter, yeah, she's showing what she helicopter I see one there I said, yeah, it's not an American gun I said, yes, girl. I said, yeah, no.
I think they did buy two or something.
No, but we helicopters didn't come with guns and that. We don't have, guys like the Apache and them, we don't have that. But it's in the country now. We have two fighter choppers.
We didn't have one in there?
We had two normal copters.
No.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, them did buy two.
Who they going and shoot is my question.
Huh?
Who they going and shoot?
No, it just have it for the naval base. Well, for the
No, that's the NID.
Okay, you have an army.
Remember?
You don't have an army, you have a regiment.
Yeah,
No, what I was saying, right? Remember the NID? We is neighbors to who?
Venezuela?
And where they looking to run in.
Fair enough.
So it's obvious they'll make it look like, alright, or they buy two helicopters from me. But we sending a little force down there just in case to protect the border.
To make sure they behave.
If all they need battleship, or yeah, wherever it is.
That was garrison for, you know, to make sure watch over the place and to make sure men doing something.
I just this week I was looking up on something and remember we in Atlantic America, so as them on the decline, we dollar pegged to the US dollar.
Yeah.
So automatically,
We don't have
and we are third world country.
We gotta pick up this slack.
So whereas if they dollar drop, they will be a little more sustainable than we. But once their dollar drop and our dollar is less of lesser value, we subjected to being gutter automatically.
It's going to be like Jamaica. $300 for a break.
Jamaica is Venezuela.
Nah, Jamaica. I think we will be functioning, but we're going to be bad. Like Jamaica bad, but it's functioning. Because in Jamaica, right, 16 of their dollars for one of ours. A bread over there is not less than 100. The smallest bread, because you see how we got a slice and hops and loaf? They don't have them a pound. So a 1 pound bread, a 2 pound bread. Now they have it. And a 1 pound bread is 100 and something, not 100. And for bread. That is why when in cartel song you say spending last grand you have on the light bill. Because them bills don't come in like, oh, we will go come 200, 300, 700. Them bills thousands. Like, I was working with a Jamaican and I said, yeah, there's $1 million car me I drive home. Now in my head, I think in Rolls Royce because, you know, as you say, we don't have to pay with the US. Man showed me a 2010 Honda car. I say, you see, I start to laugh. I said, Mike, one of my brothers and then me, I want to park up in the other. Then we talk about $1 million. I said, no. I said, go from here with that. You know?
But you see, when you live in it, it becomes like a normal thing.
Yeah, it's a
to them it's normal to us say $1 million. It's like a guy and he's coming to tell you he's spending $200 for bread. You go, wait, so much. But that's 200 for them. It's like we go spend $10.
Done.
And if you compare,
$100, sir.
Yeah.
Oh, $100, I wouldn't know.
if you compare it, it might come up to the same thing.
Well, you see, there's a about comparing currencies. You don't understand the depth currencies go. That's why each one bring one a digital currency. So
Across
we
the
run
board.
across the board. I can't know the difference.
There's no fluctuation in it.
Yes. You know. I had something I was going to bring in.
All that about the control factor. So really and truly, when they bring something like that, it's obvious that somebody come now with the petrodollar was the leading, and they go want to bring theirs, this will be similar but in different form.
Yeah.
So they go how do you
Well, Trump say I thought he was that.
I see the article in the video.
So he was looking for about 90%.
Changing the US dollars to the I get to see actual article on that, but I'll see it that video.
Was it?
But that video
I can't even look up that in the news.
I'll see what
I will see that fine. I sure I post already. I know I post something already, but nonetheless. I lost the chair. I told you. I was going to tell you about Trump literally say that he's not going to make the BRICS dollar reach any closer, become number one. He will crash everything. He will crash everything before that before you see the dollar become second. You know?
I don't think they say I don't think let's do it Predator. Blow it all up.
Yeah, blow it all up, yeah. Yeah, if you do, you go on that.
You don't man stand.
But I wanted to bring a little information here on Sakari, right? It goes to show how, you know, like when men call and name certain things, if they're witness to the things that they do.
Sure.
You know, it's very bad what they say. Like even IUIC, they bear witness to what the Pharisees will do. You know, talking about the Lord and in the background is something different. Understand?
But nice apart.
Nice apparel,
Bro, you're full of trees.
Matthew 23 verse 23 go down, you know. They said the Sakari were a radical Jewish extremist group active in the 1st century CE, particularly during the time of Jewish-Roman wars. The name comes from the Latin "sica," meaning dagger, because they were known for assassinating enemies with small hidden problems. And here the problem is small hidden dagger, sorry. But here the problem is the Sakari cause, right? They say violence and assassination. Right, the Sakari targeted Roman officials and Jewish collaborators, often killing them in public spaces to spread fear. This created political instability and widespread anxiety. It's an internal division among the Jews. And this is where you can see today with the Sakari, who is called like Alexander. Yeah. Right?
Which was contrary to the Lord.
Yeah.
Because the Lord was saying, give unto Caesar what is of Caesar. They were trying to take Caesar down.
They say the extremist actions contributed to serious divisions among the Jewish population. Moderate Jews and other resistant groups disagreed with their tactics, leading to internal conflict and weakening the broader Jewish resistance against Rome. Escalation of the Jewish-Roman conflict. The Sakari actions helped provoke harsher Roman crackdowns, which escalated tension and violence, culminating in the First Jewish-Roman War. And just to add to that, even the Sakari, when they started to pop up, some of them will start to be like, no Sakari, it's gonna run. But it caused problems under the other case. You know? It caused problems, and that's what you see with these men, how they go in, they're having a show somewhere, them in front of the show.
But I said, remember, they set up to make us be the fall guy, you know. They'll say, them street pictures. They wouldn't single out, alright, there's this man from this area who preaching under this man or this doctrine. They will say, all of them is street preachers, wipe it out, nip it in the bud. You understand? They make a law against it completely.
MAGA guys and ones who wasn't from the White House preaching.
Yeah.
And then after when they those one lost, I believe they commit so I can't say the word, but they off themselves now.
Seppuku. Commit seppuku.
So that is the kind of men, you know. But not only that, I just want to bring that information.
Sure.
It's such an important thing that we have to know who it is listening to, who it is following. The scriptures talk about many false prophets and all these things.
No, just as what I was saying, it's just in the name alone, they will know what it stands for. RUIC. You understand? We know that wasn't in it. That is facts. That you could Google that now and know, and Google will tell you that wasn't in it. You understand? For Christ.
And you know what's the crazy thing about that? You know, this might be know that is spread.
Christ was even denied it. Christ was even denied in the world. He accepted in the world. The scripture says, because what they denied the Lord, these people still people.
Most commonly accepted name. They even Yeshua, none of them are
most commonly accepted is JC. I want to say is that IUIC, right? You know, they talk all this righteousness. You know, and that's the thing. You know, Jake always watching outer appearance.
Sure.
There are cases for murder. I would say it like that. From a disclaimer. You know, the situation has happened with Joy. You know, the girl woman that went missing. You know, and from what I hear is that, like, if you're going to look at the cases, you see the information come about it, what they do. Right? It's a crazy thing that nobody, I can't remember if anybody get hold of it or not, and never really follow the case. Never escalate because it goes to show that whatever agreement they make with Esau,
They covered.
then you have the one the other day, well, it happened a little while ago, some months ago, but recently they brought back up, which is the captain fighting another guy, you know, that damaging him, mashing up his hand, his eye swelling up. I said from what the guy said in the video, it reached a point where if it didn't have somebody there, the guy could have killed him. You know? That's what they look up as leaders. When the apostles told only anytime they hear about doing that, it's straight cut out. And if they catch about doing that, it's straight to the police. You want to get locked up, you want to get judgment. You understand? Yes. But brother, love that song, was he second command?
Love your neighbor as you love thyself.
You see that in John, he said, how could you love your brother and not love your brother?
You could see, but you say you love the Lord and you can't see.
Next one say that brotherly love continues, something along
That brotherly love abounds.
You understand? So it goes to show that these are the kind of men that are set up here that so-called leading the majority of Israel. You know, many are called, few are chosen, so we don't know who this is.
Scripturally, the majority of Israel going to get wiped out, so let them go.
You know?
Go up down for that.
You see, the city, they know they will the uppermost what?
Uppermost room.
You know, parts, you know? So this is the man, and the reason why I bring it up is goes into what he's saying. That an example of whereas the men of the Lord, they were trusting. I'll show you. I'll bring it up quickly before I come. Now let's go into what we're saying too as well.
First John 2:18, 2 John 1 and 7.
I go 2 John 1 and 7. You said what I come out?
This is the book of Psalms 37 verse 23. It says the steps of a good man are It said the steps of a good man are ordered by the Lord, and he delights in his way.
Yeah.
So he tell about a good man. You understand?
When you look up good, you get righteous. So
right,
don't just feel as a man who's good with people.
No, I brought this yesterday. I brought this Friday when I was in the video upon Joy Taylor, right? That she talk about a good man of the Lord, but it goes to show a good man, he will be well ordered. And who? In the Lord.
The Lord,
right? You see, and he delights in his way, right? So that is what I'm bring on that. I'm going to direct, but I just want to bring on that. It goes to show how well ordered a man of the Lord will be, right? Right? How well ordered a man will be. But Is that why you see on these other accounts all over? No. Because they do things that you see, they come out and do the videos, and when they hear them talk, they'll catch, like they say the shepherd about a set of snails, you know? And that's what they do. When they talk,
so the breaking houses and
yeah,
captive silly woman.
Yeah.
Cool.
But then next one talk about the words, the words that something in the ears of men that they cut. I ain't gonna quote it, but there's something along those lines like talk them sweet words into the ears of the now, right? But
I think I know it.
yeah,
Just say
catch man,
sweet words,
catch man and something along those lines, and it goes to show that that's what they do.
When they rumor, they say they are
Nah, no rumors. The one I'm talking about is in the old. I know for sure it's in the old. Yeah. So this, but again, Jake, what is right? It's not Jake, it's money. So they watch his camps and then they go in here, they're there, and they follow shop. They think that that's right. But those are the same camps that they do. They should be talk about if you don't come and catch you beating the servants. And they literally doing it.
Literally. That was an allegory. That was an allegory. That one was kind of.
Yeah, that one was kind of.
That was an allegory. That one wasn't deep. That one was very shallow. Yeah, so.
Good. They wicked. They have blood on their hands. They have blood on their hands, literally.
When your job is to be washing off the blood from your hands.
Yeah, they get blood on their hand, literally.
They're adding.
Yeah, they're adding on it.
First John 2 and 18.
So First John 2 and 18 is saying, little children,
Yeah.
it is the last time. They say, and as ye have heard that Antichrist shall come.
Yeah.
They say, even now are there many Antichrists.
Right, so what you saying is what? It's the last time, you know what we in the end, it's the last of the times. You understand? And right now it's having many antichrists. Anti something just means somebody or something against it. So we would be what you call pro-life. Esau is anti-life. You understand? So you know it have matter and anti-matter. You understand? It have
antibodies.
yeah, it have pro-alphabet folk. We would be considered anti-alphabet folk. You know this kind of thing? That's all it is. So, as the brother said, you denying the true name of the Lord and His Son, you would be considered what? An antichrist. As the scriptures say, them that do wrong and teach men to do so also. You understand? And these camps are them. You know?
But which is contrary to Christianity. But they just think they say one man who will rise up. Some shit.
No.
All
So Christianity is anti-Mashiach because
all
their doctrine completely off. You understand? All Edomites anti-Mashiach. You know what I mean? The men of Israel who went out of us but are not of us, they are anti-Mashiach as well. Right?
say what they are enemies of the cross.
Come. Bring me next one, somebody. First John.
You finish,
Yeah. For the Antichrist, whereby we know that it is the last time.
You see? Once again, that's what we know we in the end. Because there's so much of them. You know? And the reason, and it was set in that way because for whatever reason it was set in that way. When you're growing up, you like, let me say I grew up in a, for instance, for example, let me say I grew up in a Christian house. I would only know Christianity. You understand? But when they come into the truth, remember the truth is the light, and so you get to see everything for what it is. Now you know, alright, Christianity is anti, Islam is anti, Hinduism is anti, Buddhism is anti, most of these other so-called Hebrew Israelite camps is anti, and I say so-called because they're saying they Hebrew, but they're really Hebrew, they're more Christian than Hebrew. You understand? Yeah, them Hebrew Christians. Yeah, them is Hebrew Christians. You understand? They are the real deceivers. Set up by the ultimate deceiver, Esau, you know?
It's a crazy thing. Being in a Christian church is one thing. But knowing as an Israelite and still deceiving the people is a crazy, is a real wicked thing.
You're deceiving yourself, man.
It's a faith thing. You know, it's a real wicked thing on the play because you bring the Israelite doctrine, you bring these things into and with Christianity. You understand? Which is perfect prophecy. Yeah.
Most of those men who will say, Lord, Lord, have we prophesied in thy name?
God, you say what? I have not known you.
These men must exist.
God.
Now, why scripture say say what? So they pray. They say what? Lead us not into temptation.
But you know,
We don't want to be in that position.
when you feel the
Second John 1 and 7. The Second John chapter 1 verse 7. He said, for many deceivers are entered into the world who confess not that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh.
Yeah, they don't confess your ocean, they don't confess some other name. Selassie, Buddha, something. You understand? JC. They wouldn't come out and say, hey, the man name is Yahushua HaMashiach. In that time, the letter never existed for him to be called that. No, they totally forget all or annul all that information, make it void and say, no, we're going with this name because people will understand it. The scriptures talk about his sheep and his voice. So if you have to understand it, you would understand it. You understand?
We don't force nobody else.
God, that is not our job. We not to force nobody. We job is to tell you to take it, and if you don't want to take it, you have to take licks. That is all. That is our job.
What the people boys doing? If you are here, and if I are here, you want to conform, you have to go. You understand? You delete your wife or delete your husband. Get rid of them. Not delete as in take off, but
Get rid of them because that. And you always I personally say what? You don't divorce unless. You understand? And they telling men divorce your wife, because she don't subscribe to like you.
No, they tell. No, actually, they go worse. They go worse. They telling the woman to leave the man because he not giving money. They go worse.
Because they worse than the Christians, right? They worse than the Christians. At least the Christians, you know, you still watch your kind of way when you're put under the basket. They like, you know, you can't be a part of the congregation. Wow, they really selling you it. That is selling you it, right? That is selling you it. Right?
I the scripture say what they are the father the devil because the scripture say buy the word and sell not.
I say everything they do is spread evidence that is contrary to the word itself. But they'll still gain followers because the scripture saying Luke, they say what? They say best. They say for so that they onto the true prophets.
God.
You understand? That's what they look like. Look at the 6 or something. Right? Back in the past they used to scoff and scorn and even kill in some situations real prophets. And false prophets they used to follow after them. And they come back in that same not to do the same thing.
Huh?
That is a command?
Nah, the finish it here.
Right.
He said, for many deceivers are entered into the world who confess not that Yahushua HaMashiach is come in the flesh. This is a deceiver and an antichrist.
You understand? So anybody who say they, you know what, Kwame and Sharala, but we don't prescribe to this name or we don't preach in this name. Just on the same side of the country, so you understand? You're still confined and conform to this kingdom.
The whole vibration I'm talking about, they say confess that he was in the flesh. All that go back to the complete doctrine itself.
Can't, that is the doctrine.
Yeah, not as the fact that he, because people might believe that the Lord rose on him, but they don't believe in the name. They don't believe in the statutes and so forth. It's a combination of everything put together.
They believe they want to pick it apart.
Yeah, they want to
they don't believe in the whole. Right?
You know, they like the breast, but they don't like the tie. You know, they have to take it.
Next precept here, John 3 verse 18. He said, he that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already.
And like I said, I go back to the whole thing. You have to believe in your Hashem Yoshai. He say he is the door. You have to believe in him as he is, not how you want him to be.
There's no other way to enter.
God, you can't see a big gate and imagine it small and walk over it.
That was the man
A big gate is a big gate.
That was the man who was given the power to open it.
God,
Where is it going? Huh?
You see a part of
Right?
You see a part of like you go on so. I follow you come up and talk. You see when you choose that
Yeah, he come
come with the purple boys.
Yeah, but that's an example of what he
No, he was there and he was doing some prayer meetings with the purple boys. Like when he would come and talk to me and we tell him what.
No, he didn't tell me. Yeah, can you're right.
Yeah, he was still in church. He was still in regular church.
And then he say he talked to
He talked to the fellas in purple.
and that is what make him when he see me, he did not talk to them or something along those
Yeah,
lines.
he now come from a prayer meeting, one of them or whatever, and then he passed here and see me.
And the pastor they tell him
That he will always be a piper or something.
Yeah. And look, we got
Yeah, who you going back? And you know the thing about it? It's better you see Christianity because going in IUIC basically the same thing.
and next,
It's just
and
outside in
next,
Europe.
and next example, again, the love what? Smooth thing.
Yeah. Shave your head, you can shave your face, you can do all these things, you know?
They deceive and they deceive our heads,
And
like.
yeah.
You know this kind of
You don't have birds yet, come and start up amongst so you can see something nice and come back every Sunday and you say, want to talk to that one. None of that here. Because I didn't for here, you know. No, I say, you see birds so much faster. Now we want to sit down and hey, sister, you know. I want to
But it's woman doesn't want to turn to God in the old age cause one too. Because I read a quote the other day and it was so profound. You know what I'm saying? It said the final form of our hope is a religious woman. I was like, wow. They're lying.
Now you know at all.
I see that one I said.
I can bring up that. I was watching some, I was reading something in my hand, and the person was going into like how women and men in the church, how they burn now, but the church is like they burn them because the truth, because the church literally forced them to burn them. They're like they want to jam, but the church, you can't accept it from marriage and these things. And what they do, of course, is the woman to be adulterous, you know, because now they inside they want to jam, they're falling, you know. And then the men burn so much, they want to sleep with other men, you know, because they're burning, they want to jam now. But so this is the kind of stuff that they're going to church, all this kind of wickedness, you know. You could have told me back when I was 6 years old, 7 years old.
I didn't even want to hear that, man.
The
fire for that, man.
You telling me about before marriage? I
said married. I let you know my grandfather never married. The them time my father was, because I used to say my grandfather married. My father I married. It's a hereditary for me not to marry. I don't be married anyway.
And we know what true marriage is.
God.
We know what true marriage is.
Yes,
So when the brother said marriage, he
I
talking
don't
about
mean, yeah, I don't mean the union between a husband and wife. I mean the union between a husband and wife and the state.
And the state, yeah.
That is what I mean.
This is what I said earlier. You see, a woman asked him, you know, why you never get married? He said, literally tell she just, was this fella from Salt, it was from Salt, it's he's like this, shit himself at time on the court. The woman asked him, she asked him, you know, married, and he was like, say, why would I marry? It don't benefit a man. Yeah. And you know, she was like, what do you mean? And he went on there. He said, do I ever benefit the man? Why would I? You know? He said, marriage, that type of marriage is good for old people. Because you don't know. You know, we should run still, you know, in that old age, you're hot.
Not only that, old people, they have no principle
to stick together. But not these old people here. Not
back in the past.
Not back in the past.
They used to grind it down. You understand?
That was explained to old man co-worker, you know, that the woman where I get long time and the woman now is too different. Before was more ladylike, now is more harlot.
More lady lava.
More lady lava.
There is not the generation for marriage.
But I was talking about something here. What I was going to say is like, as a bring up that thing with the woman adultery and that thing. I know I'll be like, right? And
Writing concepts?
And I get a vision and I get a dream and a bullshit. Right? I mean, not again nothing. That's no she far out since small hour. I ain't talk to she in months. I get 2 dreams about a situation. I won't say the dream, but I get 2 dreams. First time I get, I ain't about to tell you nothing because the dream was showing me something that what she was doing now. And that is what made me stop talking to she because I don't know the dream was true. Yeah. Lo and behold, months and 11 months and this is about 7 months in the month, you talk to she 6 months. How long is it? Right? Yeah, next dream. Just here. I say, you know what? It's a reason why the Lord was showing me that particular message. And I say, you're going to. You know, the thing. I dream. So. You said I cry. You see why I true. She came around down, certain situation, I think. She was like, wait. See, I true, I just think. And they're basically going into this woman had to die. It's basically it. They had to die. But with the dream that was just basically the Lord train, she's something, why have I go and reach after this? And I tell you, I say, why have I just go and bring her down here? For the wickedness that they do? Or you're dead? You gotta do it. Right? Why have I just come in? You gotta face it as a, you know? And with that being said, it goes to show the mindset and state of our people. It just literally have no integrity. They don't fear the Lord. They don't have that faith, that patience. You know, the Lord when you read Corinthians about the characteristics that you're supposed to have, the patience, possess the soul, the kindness, the meekness, the love. You know, these are things. That's why you say I say the other day, we don't want to tell our brother to be clean. You know, we're telling them to clean your house. This is things that you should just know. You know, if you're a man of the Lord, you just want to be good. Overall, you just want to be good. You know, practice certain things because that is what it is. He's a man of the Lord, you're show a different level of it.
Right, no. It does. You see, when as the brother was saying, the same way the food you consume will affect every aspect of your life.
Yep.
The same way your mental health will affect every aspect of your life. And if you dwell on the scripture and you dwell on righteousness, that will make your spirit itself clean, which will make everything around you become clean. You wouldn't see your heart. If there's a man never used to make up your bed when you wake up, I'm guilty of that. Right? That is when I start to get up and run out of the house. That is me. All of a sudden you find, well, making up your bed when you get up not so hard or it don't take that long. Even if you're late for an extra 5 minutes, it's 5 minutes. You're done late already. You can't be late twice. You make up your bed and you go. Like the mindset that you know, even if it's 5 minutes, because 95% of the time, I will be late to work. You understand? I come in, I'm very good at what I do, so they will wait. You understand? I come in, but I will be late. So, I realize you're done late, use your lateness wisely. Do something in the house before you go. You know this kind of way? But the point again to work is, the same way the brother say, the food you consume will affect everything. The same way your righteousness, you understand, will affect everything else in your life. So going back to what the elders were saying, you have to tell no man thing. If a man is sincerely righteous, right, sincerely in the truth, it will show it everything around him. Just the way he's conduct himself, it will show. And if he is not, the same way it will show something where he wants to take the forefront and do something and he will see himself and that. He unship. Something, that's how it is. You know, the most high will go let the spirit show you well. This brother on folly.
That's something that could be done, but not necessarily bad. That's something, you understand? And the Lord is the time to be done. When they just have any action, he had a long time to work on this.
Yeah. He was saying, you know, to pray for him, he was on our time. Because he already knew where he was going to man.
He already know that.
He wasn't working on it.
Yeah. He said, I don't take that.
Yeah.
He said, I don't take that.
On the back of the end, you want to hold on your wife too. Like you just answer on this. He wasn't working on himself.
Sometimes God is showing 7 more spirits worse than the person.
He know his problem was he wasn't working on it. We actually, the Lord will be like, I used to say, what saying not that the Lord will be pacified for my God. That's paraphrasing. Don't feel that you can get away with it now, you'll get away with it forever. You'll have a time, eventually you're going to be like, you know what, I gave from now to here, you don't know when the here is. You just going with the flow.
All you know is like, this time I could have been.
I give you. And he just come on there, I'm like, shoot. Alright, you pass the line. Alright. And what happens to you? You understand? I always have to be mindful of certain things. You just, not because you might get away with it, don't feel it that way. Sometimes you get getting time to look on it.
Right, so I'll read over verse 39, John 3 and verse 18. And so he that believeth on him is not condemned.
218.
So like 318.
Oh, you so
I finished that precept already. In 2nd John, right?
Yeah.
That precept finished already. So there is John 3 and verse 18. He said, he that believeth on him is not condemned, but he that believeth not is condemned already, because he had not believed in the name of the only begotten Son of Yahweh.
Most of the men who come under GMS, not all of them, most of them, they don't believe in the name. And for the one or two who don't believe in the name, they don't go under the vibration of the name. They understand they still want to do the one thing.
Oh, alright. You say verse 19, and this is the condemnation, that light is come into the world, but men love darkness rather than light, because their deeds were evil.
And that's an example of why most men can't turn to the Lord. Most people they teach, there are some stuff that wrong. Sometimes it's be the name, but sometimes it's be some particular deed that they just do that they don't want to stop doing. They want to continue the life in that wickedness, and they don't want nobody tell them not to do it.
Like if I may add this area, I see I think, you know, like people ask questions and on Facebook and thing, and one thing is that why doing the wrong thing? I phrasing it how I phrase it, right? That'd be so good, but basically I was going into why sleeping with somebody that you're not supposed to sleep with does be so kind
Or rewarding and feel so good.
yeah, to that extent then.
There's been many different reasons why. Or do they mean just wicked, just wicked?
No, that the wickedness is different, but the wickedness in
ego.
it.
Because the fact that you could take something from somebody else, that's not an egotistic reward things.
No, but there's a argument too. Now they say you are your wife, right? But yeah, you and your wife together a while. So after a period of time, you might stop enjoying sex with she. You might start to feel a different way. But then, but I the thing, you sleep with that next man wife.
Right, yeah, you can go with somebody that's different. You can go with somebody who didn't have a husband. So that I was saying, sometimes it's a self-rewarding ego thing that pulls me to know that I could take somebody from you, or that is always mine. That is not like I remember. I used to tell people, like I'm just about your time. Sometimes you say, John, you can get from my bird, is when you get it from my next bird who go like your bird. True. You understand? Because
what they say, they have an old saying. When you're single, girl will be around. When you have a girl just come.
What's it if she don't like your girl? If the next bird don't like your girl, she will. I want to tell you something.
Yeah,
That ego
to
thing.
remember.
It's an ego thing.
I'll go back to pride.
Yeah.
Like pride. And what pride is? When your heart turns from your creator. You understand? So you don't waste them, still chalk up to the anointing.
Yeah, it only don't do wickedness.
Still
It's
chalk up.
not in between, is it? The Lord will deal with that in between. It's good or wickedness.
I don't agree, right? I don't look warm. It's hot or cold.
It's hot or cold.
God.
Now we tell you, Kelani make a life. He didn't tell you, he said me do it. He tell you straight out, I'll do it.
And I'm walking dead with
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, as on before
Yeah.
you know.
Finish up this side.
Yeah, we got it.
About 2 verse. He said verse 20, John 3 and verse 20. He said, for everyone that doeth evil hated the light, neither cometh to the light, lest his deeds should be reproved.
God.
And that's most people today. You don't want, if anybody say anything off or acceptable in society and you comment something negative below it or anti to what they say, you go and see everybody start to, hey, you shouldn't join me.
Yeah,
You don't know what you say it, you interpret it wrong, you know, that's a man right now, but you start to see them just bringing come along the line. Why? Because they don't like to be reproved. People say what they say, reprove for a wicked man and he shall hate you. And majority of the people wicked. So you're not expecting when you correct somebody, you get positive feedback. You know? Men looking to trample over your purse and turn to rent.
Put a little pebble from the back.
Yeah, that's not, yeah.
And out to the
Step in the pouch and-
First you don't read so what? The deeds were evil, so they hate the light, right? Lest the deeds should be reproved, no?
Yeah.
And Yahushua is what? The way, the truth, and the light.
Okay.
You understand? So they wouldn't go to his doctrine, they wouldn't refer to his name. You understand? Remember, as you better say, I'm beating people and breaking the eye and all kind of thing. You know? So I go preach on that JC, I go preach on that Yahushua. He too serious for me. I want to go that could work for me. Like my husband with Jesus.
Like,
You understand?
if I
Remember,
mean-
I could tell her girl, divorce your husband because he's not giving me money. You understand? when Yahweh strictly tell them, the only ground with half of the bus is adultery.
I can load over your house.
God. You understand?
Yeah. That's what I said. Huh?
Want to say something?
Yeah, but this guy, he said verse 21, John 3 and 21, he said, but he that doeth truth cometh to the light, that his deeds may be made manifest,
Yeah.
that they are wrought in Yahweh.
Right.
You want to know?
Right. If these were what you made manifest, you know what? It would show that you're committing Romans 12. Romans 12 and 1, you're making yourself a living sacrifice. You understand? Because I did it, and that's how you just do it. By living it, by doing it. You understand?
Yeah.
Not by doing it in front of the camera or on a video. And then behind closed doors is Marshall. You understand?
It basically saying, alright, this fruit is from this tree.
God.
You understand? You can't get apples from a grape tree.
God.
So, you have a semi outside.
This is the fruit here. They will know you. They will know the man who prescribed the land.
And those of his fruit would want to know what the reason for this.
God. God.
It's simple, you know. It's simple. Like, you cannot, we have no technicalities behind it. Those who follow, if you ask them about, you will know all the players. You want to wear the t-shirts. You want to follow after them. Right? The guy might say, what, beef, Paul say beef, or also me, Azama Mashal. We all are following about that vibration. If you're not at that vibration, it's obvious, but you think he tell it to you about how if it's a woman who's in Pakistan, so to speak, you know, on the road, but your boss tell you to oh, you down, you gotta work extra shifts, late nights, no problem. But if it was a situation where you don't care what your boss thinks, by time 4 o'clock reach.
You're the first person in front of the clock, but she take your time to walk out first, man. You understand? Me and you finishing for you, but I want to go out first. Yeah, I ready to go.
When you're ready down for something, you
don't matter,
you're ready about it. You can't cloak it. You can't cloak it. It would be manifest which one you fancy based on what you have.
I think it have a precept and also everything you do glorify the Father or something like that. You understand? And that's what I precept me. You understand? Them that in the light, you will see it in them. You will see it in the things they do.
For example, was Daniel.
Yeah.
For example, was Daniel. When it is the dream,
God.
he wasn't trying to be like this shit here.
Nah, he was not free.
He was like, nah. He was like, hey, this thing was revealed unto me. Anything special of myself. That's the characteristic about humanity. But the scriptures say what? Most I resist in the crowd, but you give grace unto the humble. You understand? That's that characteristic a righteous man is supposed to have, humility.
Yeah. Second Ezra chapter 9 verse 22. Sorry, verse 21. It says, and I saw and spared it great, and have kept me a grape of the cluster, and a plant of a great people. You know, and that goes into like what it's saying, selected even out of Egypt, even out of Israel. You know that he kept for himself. Yeah, the angel of the Most High can. You know? Because that is going into what God was saying. That is a particular sin that the Lord will do. You know?
And they would want to know what the correct thing is to follow that. They don't want to be off. You understand? They understand how Pakistan is and they don't want none.
I'm something based on something else.
Yeah, but when I come in the fear of the Lord, because you have to understand, right, what the Lord could do. And you have to understand when you get next to it, feel like, because some people think everybody just going to challenge tribulation and they didn't understand it already.
Which goes back to Isaiah, when they say, why has thou removed thy fear from us? The elect has, they have the Lord's fear. So they know here where this is going. I have to do these things because if I don't, I'm jacking up.
The second is just 8 and 48, right? Because you're talking about how Daniel was showing great humility by saying, hey, I didn't decide for this dream for myself. The Son of the Lord prayed. It is the Lord give me the discernment to decide for the dream. Right? This is from verse 48, it says, in this also thou art marvelous before the Most High. Verse 49, in that thou hast humbled thyself as it becometh thee, and hast not judged thyself worthy to be much glorified among the righteous. Yeah, second and first, yeah. That's why we don't say, well, we see hope for the elect. We wouldn't come out right and say, well, we see the elect. No, we see hope for the elect. Because as far as the scriptures are concerned, we do, at least, everybody is supposed to be doing the best to do or emulate our shine. Right, so that's why we say, well, we are the hope for the elect. If when he does return, we are not, well, alright, we try our best. You understand? That's the most we can do. You know, but we did try.
Also, when say what you say, once you do these things, you shall never be over. So when you look at it, the men who let's go off is the men who don't do what they're supposed to do.
Right.
Obviously.
Or don't try, man. Or don't try.
Or don't try as
Once you find like that, go back to the just wait, say, don't let your sins weigh you down. Now, so from the time you my well, I had do it today, I had do it yesterday, I had do it the day before. But I just start like, no, do it now. Start now at least. You understand? So that's all you need to know. A little fold in the hands, and that is what a little fold in the hands just look like, you know. So very good. A little fold in the hands is a serious thing.
I don't know what you do with this thing. Go back to what you're saying, only double-edged sword. Well, son, now if you swing that sword and directly, you chop yourself.
That's it.
So the precepts, scriptures, everything else, every characteristics that a man will look for. And he would try to follow it. He wouldn't be always looking for some reason to go out and execute. Even though it might be difficult. You say, well, when they come to the Lord, prepare your soul for temptation. There are things you'll go through to sway you away from doing the correct thing. Trust me, everybody else go through it. And whether it be provocation from somebody and you wanna act up, you understand? Your situation home with the family, the wife, whatever the case may be. You will have things that will try to sway you away from your integrity. And this is where the patience, which means what? Suffer comes in.
And then that goes with what you said, because, you know, as you say, with integrity, and I one of the things that go with having wisdom is that integrity goes along with it. So that, as the scripture says, you know, wisdom will not enter into a malicious soul. Somebody who always going off and then trying to correct themselves. You know, they will never have no integrity.
Somebody who can't take the proof, these kind of things, you wouldn't get integrity like that. You wouldn't change or build your character like that. So I mean, the scriptures say, all have fall short of the glory of the Lord. So we all know we fall short every day.
And that's a big quote that, you know, people like to use. Be perfect. Yeah.
They use it as justification.
Yeah. And I said, so things like that, it's not, this is scripture, you say what you say, use not grace as a cloak of maliciousness.
That is use it as that.
That is not supposed to do. Don't use it as like
an excuse.
You know, yeah, you wouldn't be doing anything all the time. But don't be quick to jump up and say, well, you know, it's not my words. Yes, it's true. But now you're doing it, don't do that. Don't do that. You're looking for a reason to justify yourself to stay in how you is. You understand? You're still at the end of the day, we are by grace we shall be saved, but it's not something to use to be excusing yourself from doing what you're supposed to do.
Grace does come out by faith, and faith without works is so you can't say it's without works. You understand? You have to understand the context of what was said.
Something got to be showing you. Something got to be showing you.
Make your body a living sacrifice. How you want that? A living sacrifice, so that this is not the whole Isaac situation. We're not going up on a mountain and slaughter nothing. Nobody ever gonna ask where the land. This is not that. You're making your body a living sacrifice because why? You're sacrificing the leisures and the conveniences of this world.
Pleasure.
And your personal, let's say personal desires.
You're sacrificing your pleasures, your desires. You understand?
That's why there's always saying,
in this world,
that's
how you make yourself a living sacrifice.
When you come into the truth, you should have the mindset of Moses. You understand? Moses gave up authority in Pharaoh kingdom.
He could have been Pharaoh. He could have ended up being Pharaoh. You understand?
He choose to suffer with the
people.
China Israel.
Remember, he was in Egypt. He leave. Find a wife on the outside. You know?
Living a nice life.
I go to show to when the Lord ready for the Lord ready for.
Well, I was not going to mention as well, say, yeah, but he purpose was to do that.
Yeah.
That's why he probably was in that position to even exalt the Lord name more. You say, Pharaoh, look, you had it from since what age? And yet still I put him against.
Right.
I am the Lord.
But even though you know the scripture say that what is it before we learn it, so it's always good to
Yeah.
I say the scripture say that what is written for our learning. So it's always good to take them little things in account.
And eventually they say what I say is the Father of all spirits. No matter what you was brought, anybody was brought to do something was brought to save other person. It's like Pharaoh. Pharaoh himself is saved for this reason why he was for the should take it. You understand? That's just how it is.
If your purpose is stubborn, it's stubborn. You understand? You can't fight that. But that's what I was saying. It's not an excuse to fool your hand. So that precept is not an excuse for it. That precept should be used as well. I use them as motivation. You say, you know what? I fall short enough, but I give up, I will still try. You understand? Alright, I mess up today. Father, forgive me and do sin no more, go forth and sin no more. That's why I used to always tell them that after I heal them. I forgive you, you know. Go forth and sin no more.
That's what
Don't let that happen again.
say let something worse before you. Make sure I tell them that.
You understand? Because you get away no car, get your grace, you know. When grace done.
Seven spirits, wicked and nicer.
I'll tell you, it is about time, it is about time. But in the past, always happened that I have attitude like something will work out. And I used to remember that I was like, hey, look at him now. Why? Because he was getting time to work on it. But he just don't always feel like I just sit down and watch them thing and I'm like certain things don't feel like get away with it now. That means that you keep getting away with it forever. When you have a time. And when the Lord ready to lock off, he's lock off. He is lock off hard. You understand? He is lock off hard, you know.
No emotion.
Yeah, he's lock off hard. Block and delete.
With judgment. Block and delete with judgment.
You're not looking for that out here. These kind of times you ain't looking for that. You want to be one of them virgins saying give me some oil.
Then me somebody all tell reach in the kingdom. Reach in the kingdom I get a bucket back.
You want to have oil on
You know that cross my mind here that day, you know? For some reason the whole precepts the whole story I come in my phone. So look at that, you know how much men give up the oil in the earlies. Yeah, even reach halfway and fellas don't give up the oil. They say, oh going on, forget all of them. We are like now. AI for the light. Siri for my light. Understand? Let's put on the lamp there.
that would make it scary because I thought it's happening fulfilled. Now when back then, when they say what they say, before I tell you no weeping, you are not at the cross of Ashia. Even back then it was happening. You talk about in Matthew. They say brothers shall betray brothers. All these things had to happen. And nobody knows who that means than me because in your mind, you're good now. When Satan touched them, no things shall not. You understand? You don't know. That's why I say work to make your corner election sure that at that time we should mercy. You understand?
Especially in the time of Jacob trouble. Especially in the time of Jacob trouble now. But
once you're inside the ground and you do so, that is it. Done.
the scripture talk about when persecution arise for the word's sake. Especially Satan saying, hey, you can get out of this here, you know.
I like the man in the Maccabees, the old man. I like the old man.
You have to go through this pain.
You know how to eat it, so just make it look like it eats it. Make it a kind of fucking deal, which a man who understands no. Can't trust him. He so don't ever keep covenants. What agreement he gonna make with you that he wouldn't keep after? When he done with you, he gonna throw you away just like them celebrities now. Plenty of them right now. Run out of use. What they doing? Fraud. Some kind of charges. When Esau done with it, Esau
humiliated publicly.
You understand?
Say he was interfering with some child and all them things.
And you done. He don't want you to have nothing. How could you make a deal with a man of the way he's done?
Look at
they call it so-called
example,
assets.
You understand? This man in the old age, you know, look when he come and get up for because you know, when he got arrested, but the man done reach what happened, but over 30 and 40 years ago, the man done grey and done walking better.
But I think about it, they don't even have proper proof that it actually did happen. So
and he not even mentally cognitive enough to actually defend himself now. But you know, it's family members, why lawyers, but you as the man who being accused. you go put more urgency on it then. No.
Well, who knows it have a deeper meaning behind it. Probably you have certain assets that they say we had to bring this man back down.
Just like Mr. Baby Oil, who wanted to have you on alcohol. They say he wanted to I think a CBS. I think a CBS.
Nah. That's story false.
CBS story.
Yeah,
That's a freaky little nigga, right?
It's a running joke using the CBS story. That when somebody get exposed and then they just put it as that now. But there's a running joke since like Bill Cosby. Even before Bill Cosby. He
wanted to buy. I thought they said
he wanted to buy shit. He wanted to buy men. That's a fake story. He was just making us see they wanted nothing else.
That's what I see.
The CBS thing is just a running meme that is put for people who get locked up like that.
Nah, he didn't put something like that.
Nah, Bill Cosby was
He wanted to buy a I know the same with that. CBS was the same with the Diddy was the alcohol he wanted to bring.
No. The situation that happened with Diddy. He wanted to cut off. He wanted to cut off the
shareholder.
But that would always lead into problems because it wasn't done from the beginning. I think the fact where at the end of the day, what happened to him is what you do men in the music industry. He used to take men royalties and get them back and set them up. That's why plenty of bad boys artists. They're poor or they're not fully well off. And some of them, yes, they always end up in trouble after. And this thing by
the teacher, the student thought he surpassed the teacher now, but how the teacher had to show him off in tricks still.
And that way the same majority of the bad boy artists there's always shut up BD because of the bad contract deals. Shine.
Shine for one. Yeah. Shine was a real prominent.
And went to jail.
And what you know?
Huh?
He's a minister, prime minister.
He's a minister.
A prime minister or something.
I believe where he was from. Even recently the information from that is now he should be guilty. It was actually BD. He just did the rabbit guy when Jay Culture have a new snitching rule. So he was just see that thing and he still never see about him. So when he come out, the hatred was still there. Even when Diddy come out, even when Diddy get locked up, he come out and do anything saying that the truth will come out now. He rubbed men through the life, so he had to get rubbed now.
And what?
You know the crazy thing about it? You know the crazy thing about it? Them fellas are supposed to multi-millionaires. Yeah, they're not millionaires. What more you want? But green. And he's going to show you,
It always have more to get to know.
No matter what you make, you still might see.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Once you try to surpass the teacher, that's where the problem is coming, right?
He's always like, come on. See, you ain't feel. You give you a little thing and you want to take extra.
Come on, you want alcohol.
Come on, man. You see people don't drink right now?
I pay the house and you feel you own this place?
Yeah.
Or when they try to sue you MJ or something.
Yeah, the same, and that's the thing. It all comes to this. That is Jake trusting in the enemy and believing that the enemy will always pick the side. No.
There's no honor amongst thieves.
There's no honor among thieves, yeah.
You understand? You know honor, you not going to honor, no commitment he makes to you.
The same labels that was pushing you for years, pushing you all over the world and thing. Now you come and tell them that they do the same thing for another artist and now they're showing you whatever going on. We're going to talk with you. You understand? We're going to show you something. You know, we're going to show you something. You lost a rapper and you know the thing about that? Nobody just waited to drop shit on this man, just waiting for the court case to come. They say, boom! That is what they do. Hey, Jake had to realize one thing, you have no power here. The earth was given into the hands of the wicked. You understand? You have no power. You have nothing you can do against Esau. This is their kingdom.
You go in jail and meet Al Kelly.
Yeah. Huh? Yeah. And it goes to show that no matter what power Jake have, they would always be subjected to Esau. 4 months age. You know?
Mind telling me that's my body.
Right, Microsoft told me. So I don't know if anybody has anything else.
Alright, the man. Give me Surah. Would a rich man speak? The thing. And it's good into what we saying, you know? Give me Surah. I think it's Surah 12 or something.
Okay, sure.
Could be around this one. I can't remember. Or 10 or something around this one.
And that is shit by the scripture. So we see over here. They say what they say. All
13 and 22.
13, right?
Yeah.
But then they say what they say. They say for they that are rich, what fall into a snare.
Snare. Yep.
Temptation.
James Fry is like how they get the money. Yeah. I understand. That's how they how you fit did you get money? So you get so you shall what? Lose it.
Easy come, easy go.
Easy come, easy go.
Come with
Well,
corruption, you believe in corruption.
say you will bring this on.
Yeah, this is Sirach chapter 13 and verse 21.
22.
So, alright, I'll go to 22.
Yeah, go ahead, bring it.
He said, when a rich man is fallen, I could I go from 20? Right? In a matter of fact, I'll go from 20. He said, Sirach 13 verse 20. He said, as the poor man hate Salakia, as the proud hate humility, so do it the rich harbor the poor.
But that's basically
Abo.
Abo.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's basically
Salakia.
the two work against each other. For example, like we are I can't remember the minister. Who's the minister that say down here that say the rich will get rich and the poor get poor?
Rowley, right?
The
Rowley.
Prime Minister.
Right. So poor man.
For example, they will never want to see the poor reach any state of thing. You ought to understand they live by contempt. It's as in the book of Sirach say, things work in double. One against another. So that basically it.
Go against the house.
Yeah. And the thing about this is that with Esau, it never have no in between when it comes to that. It will have them that will be on top and then will be below. It has no middle ground.
And that's not hard, but that's what they're trying to do away with insurance and Tobago as well. We will have the 1% and then the 99. It have no middle class. There will no longer be a working class. It's either you're rich or you're poor.
I'm about to say that was one of the reasons for the C19 to eradicate the middle class in every place. So it will just have the upper and the impoverished.
And that's funny because just this week I was looking up like what is a middle class income, which is from 7 to 12,000.
You do I don't know more.
Huh?
A month?
Yeah.
Nah, not a month. A middle class income. Nah, middle class income.
Trinidad, you just Google that.
No, in Trinidad, yeah.
You
For
Google
Trinidad,
that.
for Trinidad.
A middle class income here.
No, well, then they accomplish what they wanted to accomplish. I mean, the majority of the country is not middle class. The majority of the country is poor.
Yeah, but that
Majority of the country
that
working for below $6,000.
No one say that the most the average man working for
That's what I'm
who
saying.
working is 6,000.
But I'm not going to say the middle class should be like 4,000 to 5, because when you really, I don't know what stats to go by. Gain how much it is?
Between
Gain
7,000
7,000 a month. You don't work 3 years in the company. I tell you.
Between 7,000 and
to 12,000.
12,000.
So, but
Who you know
That's a
start, who you
comfortable
know that
salary.
start,
Them are called middle
who you
class.
know that start working for
Middle
5,000
class,
a month.
that
And you
is
know
middle
start
class.
to work.
4,000.
Middle class gonna be like teachers and them who could
That-
take loan
that ain't middle
comfortable.
class.
We both know teachers don't make that.
Nah.
What? Teachers
No,
don't make
that's
money?
secondary school
Yeah, but
probably.
not that.
Secondary school, yeah.
Tertiary, I said tertiary, not even secondary.
But
There's a reason why teachers be currently more pay, right?
Oh, like what if forget that?
in terms of
Making joke, remember teachers are stay home from school for weeks and thing, you know?
about middle class is in the middle of rich and poor. So like say if a man is rich making like $7 million a year, and a poor person making not close to nothing, a middle class would be like about a 500,000, 200,000.
But there's the thing.
300,000.
But there's where the stats go up because it have no middle class.
Right. That's the thing.
You understand? We have no middle class. When you really
But
check
this
it,
was
like
from
6,000, 4,000 a month is basic. If you do a survey
If
here
they
right
say
now,
4,000 to 6,000, yeah, that'll make more
if we
sense.
do a survey here now, every single person here around here walk into the lines around 4,000 to 6,000.
Because I remember,
Average, yeah.
within 3 years, they raised the minimum wage about 3 or 4 times.
And
No,
still,
but-
and
and
still
still
even that.
reaching
Not
that.
even reached that.
No, but even though they-
when the minimum wage raised, that is because the dollar depreciated.
Depreciated,
So
yeah.
that is what?
The
High
dollar still
inflation.
itself out,
yeah.
And that is what causing the major separation between the uppers and the lowers.
But this is what I tell you, like
But now we have to get more money to survive. And them have to get what?
No, like
More
the thing, man.
generation
But
of money.
whenever they raise minimum wage,
There's other things to compensate.
right? So it come like you're not going away.
Well, that is the whole idea. The only reason there's raising is because the dollar devalue. You understand? So, alright, when $100 can afford your tank, $100 is quarter of your tank now. Because why? Minimum wage is 20, 40, and we had if I had to pay Iowa 20, 40 an hour and time and a half because the rest of the workers and them is scattered this day, whatever reason. I cannot sell gas 5.50 a gallon or a liter. I don't know what those work out are.
That's it.
But that's as our friends. I have to sell gas to make a profit. Because my workers working for what? 4 times the price of my gas now. So now gas has to go up, and we all know once fuel raise, everything else do, right? Because everything does need fuel to reach where it has to go. And that's how it does work.
Like for example, like when hyperinflation hit, you're going to literally see how heavy the ripple that it literally going to have the elites.
You will literally be able to walk through the street and see the difference.
So, for example, it's like there's a reason why, like in America, they want to separate the country, paying the high class on one side, and the poor will consist of the so-called middle class, because the middle class will be looked down as a particular. They will look down as poor. In hyperinflation, it have no middle class, right? So your 4,000 and working for 5,000 or whatever it may be, that is considered poor in hyperinflation. That is considered poor because you can't buy with that, you can't shop with that.
Let's call it upper.
You know, you call it upper poor.
Let's call it upper poor.
And basically that is so good.
Right? He say a rich man beginning to fall is held up of friends.
Yeah, so a rich man, so that is why they will bring forth like the story the brother the CBS thing. That is one of his men saying that because you don't want to fucking CBS. You don't want to CBS?
My mom,
Or even like with like I say, rich men held up by his friends.
Yeah.
Like for example, show you like my brothers break it down. Talk about like say if a rich man want to take a loan, he will get lower. He will take that less interest, smaller amount. Like they do things to help each other. Now when you see the wealthy families, that's how it is because they just
favor for
each other to be able to help each other go up. You understand? So they always have a safety net, so to speak, somebody to bail them out.
Right? He say when a rich man beginning to fall is held. Yeah, when a rich man beginning to fall is held up of his friends.
You see how Jake is when it comes to the celebrities that have money, you know, like the situation of Tory Lanez and Meg Stallion. You know, she get shoot, she get thing, but a woman dying every day by getting gunshot while they feel the same way to them. No, because they don't have that status. You understand? She was wicked, she was committed, she was sleeping around. You understand?
I think she is actually a he.
Huh?
I think it's
Nah,
she.
that's
Well, I don't know. Well, that's it.
But that is
Vivian them at that time and she was on
she literally
being puppets.
You know?
All of them.
When they go in court now, she and let's show you the powers that control it. Because when they lie in court, he's supposed to be arrested.
Yeah,
She literally all her statements.
statements.
All her statements she left.
Yeah.
She was like she didn't sleep with him, and then after the next court date, she was like, yeah, they had sex. So he lied. So why? But
all
again,
the evidence was to be
again,
shown out.
you know, when them big boys make the call, you know, she's a big investment to them.
Yeah.
So they can't see she going.
Very entertaining for them.
It's easier to put he in jail than she.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And even though at the point in time, she may be considered a bigger artist because of the woman thing, he still by numbers wise was greater.
Yeah.
You understand? But the fact is that it's easier to put a man in prison. And it goes with the dynamic of where the woman and the system go hand in hand.
Correct.
The woman come past the man, the woman always get in the way.
He say, but a poor man being down is thrust away by his friend.
Poor man come on.
He's dead weight now.
He's dead weight. Like,
Dead weight. You can't help me do nothing but try to leave me
you know
alone.
they said that poor man, you know who suffer already.
If it don't make money, it don't make sense.
Yeah.
So they say,
Yeah, verse 22 say, when a rich man is fallen, he had many helpers.
Yeah, we need help for the money.
Yeah. But once you get back on your foot, you go hit me back with something extra.
Yeah. And majority of the time, they ain't gonna get shit.
No, a majority of them do the white back in money, the white in favor, say what's going on, but I have a container coming in,
Bring it in.
and no use the head of the port authority, just look the other way. You understand? That way does work by the favor for a favor, by.
He say he speaketh things not to be spoken, and yet men justify him.
Yes, he speak things that not supposed to be spoken. You understand? And they justify why? Because of the money he have. For example, the Chris Brown, all these men, you know, that's calling the what Jake would know, because if we go to call some other names about a high class Jakes that in position, they would be lost. You know, they wouldn't know who it is. Right?
that's swallowed.
Yeah. There's the next one as well too. Yeah, there's the next one that's swallowed up, man. You know?
He said the poor man slipped And yet they rebuke him too.
Like, yeah, man, you know,
So we don't buy polio with
where for you? I tell you, do that thing, you know, but the rich man, the man who all our money.
yeah, boy, let me help you. Give me your hand, let me help you.
He spake wisely and could have no place.
You know what they say with the
Yeah, right.
with the women who is let's pay the 1100 to go and see Chris Brown.
Yeah.
But for the old husband, they didn't do
Yeah,
nothing.
you see the story. There's a good point you bring up. You see the story with the man who kicked out who down, break up the door.
With the usher.
No,
incident.
but
Chris Brown.
Oh, yeah,
It's the
yeah.
bad one when the girl come out and make a statement and say
That one when
she
they
okay,
lift
she
up.
leave because every woman know within herself that they want somebody like
and he was like, all right, cool, you don't leave, and you know, in the latter end, who feel it more? She. Because she come back saying what?